Okay, I just rewatched uh, Big Joel's video on Shoe on Head's tweet. The fucking animals is bad source. I'll link it. Um, it's my dog. And in the beginning, when he asks uh, about the okay, and in the beginning when he asks or when he proposes his social or moral difference between the uh, quintessential no the bestiality person and the meat eater person, he uses an argument kind of like, well, a person who is into bestiality, that tells you something about the person because there's no social acceptability. He's doing it to hurt an animal, but the meat eater person is doing it because he likes meat, and he's not in it to hurt animals, and that's because of the social background and the reasoning that comes from that, right? Because he grew up in a situation where that's acceptable, so it tells you something about the morality of the person. And my point here is that it does it does tell you something about the morality of the person, as in some of us would like, it's quite normal to have like a grandfather, for example, who is a bit more racist, maybe, than what is socially acceptable today. And we can go like, well, he grew up in a social, he was socialized in a way that obviously that's more understandable, and I won't essentialize that to his person as much as I would a younger person, because you know it's unfortunate, but it's understandable, right? He grew up in a situation where that's more understandable. And yeah, if you essentialize the moral to the person, I can say, yeah, sure. I would look at a person who's a meat eater as sort of like a less bad person than someone who rapes animals. But that's not really the original question in the Twitter feed from the guy. It's more what's the difference, right? Because it's both horrible. So what's the difference? Can we ask ourselves, what's worse, or what's the difference between them, and all of these things? And that's a question that aims at the actual morality behind it, right? Not the morality of the person, but the moral behind the action. And that's a completely different question. That's so it's like a logical jump to start talking about the morality of the person instead of talking about the morality of the action itself. I would say that makes it more difficult, right? It makes it a more difficult question, because as Big Joel takes it, like says, it's like, well, there's a sort of systematic rape within the meat industry. Um, Obviously, killing and eating an animal would hurt the animal. Um, and then the question is kind of revitalized, which is like, I had a gut feeling a long time, like there's something off about logic. I think, well, that is certainly something that's off about his logic there. He's not actually answering the question. He's kind of dodging it accidentally.